Okay, my name's Debbie Sargent. I work at the circuit clerk's office, and this is Mildred Howard. She works for the driver's license department through the office. I've been here 17 years. Wendy Flannery is the clerk in the office. We worked with Paul Williams until he passed, and then Wendy ran for the position, was appointed first, and then had to run for the position. And I think she won't have to run it. It's a 6-year term for the circuit clerks. She runs again, I think, in 24. But this office takes care of a lot of things. I had no idea what this office did when I came here. I thought everybody in here did driver's license. And I thought that's a lot of driver's license people, but they take care of. The district court handles anything from speeding tickets to drug charges, fishing without a license. People get caught with those things. They have to go to district court before the judge, and then they'll either have to pay a fine, you know, if it's something more serious. They'll get waived to the grand jury, and then they'll have to go upstairs to a higher court, which is a circuit court. The judge there is Kent Hendrickson. The district judge is Scott Lessenby. So misdemeanors and small things stay in district court. Felony charges like murders and DUI, assault, things like that go up to the higher court. There's a severe penalty if you go upstairs. So if they pay fines for anything, they have to come here to this office. Most of the time you don't want to be in this building unless you're getting your driver's license or a permit. Otherwise you don't really want to be in here because it's all related to court, serious things. If people pass, probate cases go through here, someone needs to get appointed, someone's acting up, if they're abusing alcohol or drugs and you have a family member that you're worried about, they would come here and take out a 202A or Casey's Law for people and try to get help for those people. But driver's license, like I said, that's a big thing. The kids usually want to know about permits and things like that. But anything to do with court has to come here through this building, you know, and then before the judge. So, Raymond, you want to ask any questions?
You're the ones that send out letters when you need a jury.
Yes.
People to be on the jury duties.
We get the letters. Actually, they come from Frankfurt. They send it from Frankfurt. They'll send out the letters, and then the letters will come back here, and then we would split them up and put them on different juries. You know, since COVID, things have been a little bit different. People haven't been coming in to get appointed. We've been calling them and telling them which jury they're on, doing it that way. We've not actually had a trial since COVID either. Things have been put off, you know. Right. But and they've been sitting a little longer. The jurors have been sitting a little longer than normal because of COVID and them not having to come in. So they're extending their time a little bit, which kind of helps us. And I know people don't much like it, but they don't have to come in. They just have to keep calling that answering service. Right. But yeah. So yeah, they always wonder why. I mean, some people that are deceased will even get letters. But like I said, they have a list in Frankfurt. I don't know how they get that list. But we tell them how many people we need, and they send the letters out, and then the letters come back here so we can keep up with who's being called. And they can get excused through here. You know, they've called Wendy and can get excused if they have reason to be excused, and that happens a lot.
I know back a few years back when I was on the jury, we served like maybe a month or two, but now I think they serve longer, right? When they're selected, now they serve.
They have been serving longer because of the COVID and not having to show up. You know, they're supposed to meet actually so many times, and then after that they can't meet anymore. But they're not meeting that quota because we're not having any trials, so they are serving longer. Right. It's been the district. They've been sitting about a year. This last time with COVID, they sat for about a year before we changed the jury and had new letters sent out. You know, so, but now we've not, like I said, we've not had any trials, so nobody's really had to show up. The grand jury, they have to show up. Yes. But, you know, it's a smaller group, and they meet usually a couple times a month. So, and that goes to the Commonwealth Attorney's office. They meet with them and do the grand jury that way, and make returns to the clerks, you know, to the judge upstairs on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you have something to tell us?
My name's Mildred Howard. I've been working in this clerk's office. In January, it'll be 22 years. I've been working in driver's license for the last 16. And we have a lot of students that come in to get their permits. They have to have their social security cards, birth certificates, a parent to sign for them, and
the form from the school.
They have to have a verification form from the school. And the parent that comes in to sign for them has to be on the birth certificate. If they are living in foster care. The Cabinet for Families and Children have to fill out a form.
So now, do they have to, at one time seemed like they had to keep certain grades or anything? Is there anything with grades now?
Yes, there is. They have to be passing 4 classes.
4 classes.
Is that their verification letter?
That's their verification letter. That's why they have to have that.
And that proves that they're passing those classes.
Yes.
A lot of these teens that's going to be hearing this, some of them probably have their license, some of them probably will not, because some of them are freshmen and maybe 1 or 2 8th graders. So it will be good for them to know this. So when they get their license, how long do those licenses, how many years are those for?
What happens first is they have to get their permit. If they're, 16, they have to wait 6 months, and if they haven't gotten any tickets or anything against them, and their grades have been kept up, then they come in and they're allowed to take their road test. And what they do is get a intermediate license, and they can't. It's where they can't drive from midnight till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And they're only allowed 1 person in the vehicle that is non-related.
Okay. And then they come back, and after a certain period of time, they take their test.
After 6 months, they can come in and get their full license, but they have to take a 4-hour class.
Okay. And those licenses last for 4 years or 6 years, or how long are those?
4.
4 years. Okay.
Well, until they turn 21, they'll prorate the amount.
Okay.
And they'll just get them until they're 21, and then they can upgrade them.
So what is the cost of those licenses now? Do you know the?
Full license is $20. The permits are $12. And like I said, if they're under 21, or whenever they come in to get their full license, they'll prorate it. Sometimes it's $2.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 6, some 8, 10. Just
Okay.
depends.
Do you all have anything else that you want to tell this group? We really appreciate you all talking with them, and I know that we have an election every 4 years, right? It was 6 years for this office?
It's 6 years.
6 years for
circuit
the
clerk,
circuit.
yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit longer than what it is for some of the others then.
Yeah.
So every 6 years, this office the candidate has to run
Yes.
again if they
I think
desire
it'll be,
to.
I'll make that note, 24 before Wendy will have to run again.
Okay.
2024.
Okay, thank you all very much then.
All right, thank you, Raymond.
I'm ready.
Hi, I'm Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley. It's good to be with you again this year. Usually we're in this room when we meet with students that are part of this leadership group, and all of you are in this very room with me as I usually tell you about the responsibilities of my job every single day. So I miss not being able to be with you in person this year, but things are starting to get back to normal somewhat, and the more people that we get vaccinated to fight this awful COVID-19 virus, the better off we're going to be moving forward. So today I'm going to share with you some of the things that are part of my responsibilities as County Judge Executive, so that you kind of know what I'm responsible for doing day in and day out. This position used to be actually one position with the district judge. You all know over in the Justice Center we have a circuit judge and a district judge. The district judge is in charge of things like traffic citations, small misdemeanor citations, and stuff like that. Years ago, my position and that position used to be one, and they separated those out. I believe it was in the 1960s, and created a county judge executive position and then a district judge position. And I'm thankful that they did. I certainly wouldn't want to be having to deal with district court matters and the stuff I deal with every single day. So I'm thankful that we have 2 separate positions now. But I ran for this position in 2014, took office in 2015, ran for re-election in 2018 and won, and then took office again in 2019. So I've been in this position now about 6 and a quarter years. the job is very, very diverse. You never know on a day what you may have to deal with. Now, my position oversees the operations of county government, the fiscal affairs of county government, managing the tax dollars that the taxpayers pay to the county government, and then also overseeing the funds that are received from state and federal agencies for administration in Harlan County. I oversee not only the office here, but also oversee the operations of the Harlan County Courthouse. Also underneath my supervision is the Harlan County Road Department, the Harlan County Solid Waste Department, the Harlan County Recycling Center, the Harlan County Animal Shelter, Harlan County Parks Department, and the Harlan County Economic Development Program. So it's a lot of different things that are directly under my watch every single day. I've got a great team of people that work alongside me to help me manage these responsibilities. Our top priority is public safety in county government, and of course we have a sheriff that oversees the sheriff department. But one of the things that we're very active in here is helping find funding for our fire departments and rescue squad to be able to respond to emergencies, whether that's home fires or car wrecks or missing persons or what have you. So we're very involved in that aspect of it through the emergency management program that we also oversee. I mentioned the road department here at the Harlan County is responsible for the maintenance of over 1,500 county roads. A lot of county roads out there. Over 1,500, about 400 bridges that we're responsible for. Now, a county road is different than a state road. You think, well, I drive up and down the bypass and you might see a pothole or what have you up on the bypass or down on 119. Those are managed by the state, by the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. The road that leads to your house, like the road I live on, Port Drive, or the road I grew up on, Mosley Lane, those are county roads. And that's what we're responsible for making sure are passable, that they're in good condition, and also that in the wintertime that they're cleared from snow and ice. We have a team that goes out and treats those roads during the winter months and make sure that people can get to the main roads to get to work. I mentioned the solid waste department. We have a contract with Waste Connections for garbage collection services throughout the county, but we also manage the recycling center and the construction and demolition landfill, which is where people can bring debris that they demolish, if they're demolishing a home or a business or cleaning up their property. We have a CD&D landfill that is available for items like that to be taken. Then we have the recycling center at Baxter. And I would encourage you to encourage your families to recycle household cardboard or aluminum cans. Those are received at the recycling center. That type of recycling program, paper goods, cardboard, you think, how much cardboard you go through. All of us probably drink more soda pop than we should. So we have those Coke cartons sitting around. Those, instead of going in the trash can, you can save those and take those to the recycling center as part of our cardboard program. We save a lot at our house, keep it in a little closet off in the kitchen, and when we get enough, I haul it down to the recycling center. That helps make our footprint more green in this world by recycling those things, and it also keeps people working at the recycling center, which helps provide a few extra jobs here in the county. The economic development program is something that we're really excited about, the things that are going on along with that. We've seen in the last year about 15 small businesses open in Harlan County, from little mom and pop shops is what we call them for retail, to a couple of clinics that address healthcare needs. We also have the Teleworks USA hub that we funded the last few years that's put about 300 people to work at their homes in Harlan County, working for companies like Xbox or Apple or U-Haul, where people do their job from a laptop computer all day long, sitting in their living room or their bedroom or a small office in their home. And that's been really good because it's brought in outside money into our county. Our county developed a Build Ready site up in Cumberland, right off US 119, that we're actively marketing to recruit additional industries to Harlan County. We're expecting some very exciting news on that project as it relates to a grant we've been pursuing for a long period of time to extend natural gas to the site. So we're expecting that any day. And by the time you watch this, we might already have had that news. I hope that to be the case. So we've had 3 different companies look at that site already. 2 of the 3 said they had to have natural gas on site for them to be able to come here. So we're working hard to get that done. I mentioned the animal shelter. If you're interested in adopting a pet, I encourage you to go by there and see the folks at the animal shelter. They're in charge of picking up stray and unwanted animals as well as accepting surrendered animals. We work closely with rescue programs because our adoption rates are so low here. We send a lot of animals out to places like Illinois, Minnesota, Michigan, where they had spay-neuter laws in years ago, and they have a shortage of animals in those areas. So many Harlan County dogs and cats end up in Minnesota or Chicago or somewhere up north because of the spay-neuter laws they had in place, and frankly, because we don't have those here, we do require that pets that leave the shelter be spay or neutered due to the overpopulation that we have here. But if you're interested in adopting a pet or being involved with the animal shelter, I'd invite you to stop by and speak with Wesley or Jennifer down there. We have a very active organization known as Friends of the Shelter that supports the work of the animal shelter, and they just raised about $20,000 to go along with about $10,000 the fiscal court had budgeted to create a suite at the animal shelter where spay-neuter procedures can be done and other health screenings and procedures can be done for animals at the shelter, but also increase the spay-neuter programs that we have going on in our communities. It's a very exciting project, and the place looks phenomenal ever since the construction has been completed on that suite. I mentioned the Parks Department. The county is responsible for the maintenance of the recreation area at Martins Fork Lake. The beach, the shelter houses, and the playground equipment is managed by us. We have 2 employees that take care of maintenance up there, mowing the grass, making sure the trash is picked up, and so forth. We also oversee the Cranks Creek Lake up at Cranks between Kaywood and Smith. That lake, we've recently put in a new boat dock up there, a new boat ramp, a fishing T-pier where handicapped people can roll right onto the pier to fish. We've also got some other planned improvements this year for up there that will help make that place even nicer. If you've never been there, I'd encourage you to go by. There's plans to put a kayak ramp in up there. It's a beautiful, quiet place in Harlan County that a lot of people don't even know exists. We also have a lease on the off-road park where it's managed through the Harlan County Outdoor Recreation Board Authority, and the off-road park is getting ready to expand additional acreage for additional trails to be developed, and we're hoping to eventually to be able to develop a trail all the way to right outside of Cumberland. And that's our goal for this particular year on that project. But it is managed, as I said, by the Harlan County Outdoor Recreation Board Authority, and there's a lot of people that come in here to Harlan County each and every weekend to attack the trails that exist in these mountains as part of the Black Mountain off-road recreation area. We have the zip line up there. If you've never done the zip line, I would encourage you to do that. It's a lot of fun, fast, high zips through the beautiful mountains of Harlan County. It's a really, really cool thing to be able to have here for our locals and our tourists alike. We also we created the Harlan County Tourist and Convention Commission a few years ago. That commission is in charge of the operations at Portal 31 and promoting Harlan County's other tourist attractions. The Portal 31 is undergoing a major renovation right now as part of an AML pilot grant we received a couple of years ago to make things work a little bit better in there and expand what we're doing there. It tells the history of mining in Appalachia. If you've never done that, it's an absolute jewel. If you've had family members that either work or have worked in the coal mines, a piece of what they've done, a piece of their heritage is documented and their story is told inside Portal 31. It's about a 30-minute exhibition ride back into the mountain, and there's no better There's no better thing out there that tells the story of mining in Appalachia as well as Portal 31 does. And if you're a supporter and proud of the coal mining industry like I am, you definitely want to put that on your list of things to do moving forward, because that particular, we call it Harlan County's Disney ride. It's a really cool thing that really tells the story of coal. And it's going to get even better because of the renovations that are underway as part of a $2.5 million AML grant that will also develop a observation tower on top of Black Mountain where people can go up there and get married or see the beautiful views of Kentucky and Virginia. And on a clear sunny day, they even say you can see clear over into North Carolina from up there. So it's a beautiful place. We look forward to getting that project done, because Kentucky's high point right now is pretty much undersold. You got to drive about 2 miles out of dirt gravel road that about beats your vehicle to death, and get out there, and there's a monument, and it's growed up in weeds, and it's just not a good high point experience for Kentucky. We want to change that. We want to put an observation tower up there to where people can pull up, get up high, see the beautiful mountains, the views that exist from up there, and the wildlife that is up there. Take that in, and we're excited about getting that project moving forward as well. So I wish I were with you live in person, because some of you may have some questions, but my door's always open to you. If there's anything I can do to help any of you through questions you may have about county government, or ideas you may have for the county, or if you need a letter for a scholarship that you're applying for, I'm always willing to do that. I've written a bunch of them throughout the years for folks, and proud of the folks that we've been able to help. They're doing well out there in college as we speak, and look forward to what they go on to do in their careers, and I look forward for the same for you. And if we can ever be of assistance, don't hesitate to reach out. Once again, I'm Dan Mosley, Harlan County Judge Executive, and proud to serve in this role. If there's anything we can ever help you with, don't hesitate to stop by and see us. Have a great day.
Okay, I'm Donna Hoskins, your Harlan County Clerk. I started as clerk in 2012. I've had 52 years experience in this office. We are a official for the county offices. We are governed though by the state, the county, and the federal government by certain laws. I am responsible for the holding of elections, the recording of deeds and mortgages. I'm responsible for licensing vehicles, issuing marriage license, several things. But when you're 18, you can come and register to vote here, or when you get your first-time driver's license, you can register in the circuit clerk's office. We're coming up on an election in 2022 that is the county. It is all county-wide offices and the city councils, city mayors, and certain school board districts. I have the candidates register for me to be on the ballot, and I set the ballot up. I make sure that all the voting machines go out to all of the precincts. This year we're going back to precincts. It's what we did in 2019. You all may have went to vote with your parents at one time, and in 2020 it was a situation we never knew we'd have to have, and we had voting centers at that time, which meant we combined precincts into certain locations. This time, like I said, we'll be back at the locations where they were in 2019, and that'll be 32 precincts. We have 20,000 voters, and we're now at almost 50-50 Republican and Democrat. Years ago, we were 5-1 Democrat county. We have probably the most we had turnout in 2020 presidential that we'd had in years. We had 11,000 people vote. We hope to have that or more to vote in the primary. And then the primary, if you are elected as the nominee in the primary, you'll run in the general election in November. As to registering cars, we renew cars, we issue titles to ones that you've just bought. We junk cars. We have Marriage, like I said, license, you have to be 18 to obtain a marriage license. We have marriage records back to the 1820s. We have deeds and mortgages. Deeds are your proof that you own a piece of property. It consists of your seller's name, buyer's name, the price you paid for the property, and a description of the property. Then we have mortgages, and that is if you're borrowing money to obtain that piece of property, you go through a mortgage company, a bank, they record those here. We have Army discharges for people that have been in service, but they're not a public record. To obtain the discharge, you have to have ID that that's you, or either you have to have, if your family is obtaining it, they have to have a birth certificate showing you as that service person's child. What else do we do?
I guess one question I might have, if I wanted to come in and look up a deed or something, can I do that, or what do I have to do to do that?
Deeds are open. The record room is open to the public. We have back to 78 on deeds. Some other records are further back on the computers. We're hoping to have grants in the future to update our system. We have 2 ladies in the deed room that'll help you. And you can look up a deed, you can look up a marriage on there, you can look up a will if somebody is deceased. Their will is probated in the circuit clerk's office and then recorded here. And I'll go back to the elections. You have until December the 31st at 4 o'clock to change your party. After that, in January, you can't change your party and vote in the primary election. And you can, but from January till April, you can change your address or add your married name, but nothing can be done to change your party.
So what is the date, the last date that if you're turning 18, is 18 is the official registration vote?
Yeah.
What is the last day they can register to vote in the primary election?
As long as they are 18 by election day, they can register to vote.
Okay.
And May the 17th is the primary.
So when can they register up till that day, or where's the cutoff
No,
day?
the cutoff day will be 30 days before the
30 days
primary,
before the
so
primary.
around April the 17th,
Okay, and the primary is what day this year?
May the 17th.
May the 17th. Well, thank you very much. I
Well,
appreciate that.
I rambled, but we think we got it.
Hi, I'm Fred Busrow. I'm the Harlan County Attorney. To be the Harlan County Attorney, it's an elected position. You have to be a lawyer, you have to have practiced law for 4 years, and you have to be a Harlan County resident. The term of office is 4 years, so every 4 years you have to get reelected. What I actually do as Harlan County Attorney falls into 4 major categories. The first category is I'm a criminal misdemeanor prosecutor. Now, my office is in the basement of the old courthouse, but district court is where we prosecute misdemeanors, is over in the Justice Center, and it's before Judge Lisenby. Now, a misdemeanor is defined, it's the smaller crimes, anything from a speeding ticket to shoplifting. A felony are your more serious crimes, like murder and very serious assaults. The penalty maximum on a misdemeanor is a fine of up to $500 or jail time in the county jail of up to 1 year. Felonies, of course, you serve time in the state penitentiary and your fine is over $500 and jail time is longer than a year. The second division that I'm responsible for deals with advising Harlan County Fiscal Court. You'll hear from the Judge Executive, I'm sure, and the Judge Executive and the magistrates make up the Fiscal Court. I am legal counsel for the county. So I work on contracts, leases, different disputes that may arise. If someone gets hurt on county property, I may be involved in that. The third division that I have deals with collecting delinquent taxes. Now, taxes provide the funding mechanism that allows county government to run. Now that includes maintenance and taking care of the roads and bridges in the county, like today when it snowed, putting salt out upon the road, provides employees, it provides a jail to incarcerate individuals, provides all of the sheriff's office employees. There's approximately 30 deputies, so there's a police force. It also, the taxes that I help collect also provide funding for the library, the health department. And you can imagine how important it is to the health department, who has been administering the COVID-19 tests and vaccines. And also the Harlan County Extension Agency, under which a program you're participating in today in the 4-H. Finally, I also collect child support. So I have a child support division that deals with more things than just collecting child support. There's establishment and paternity issues. But in summation, I'm reminded of a quote from Tommy Lasorda, who was a longtime Los Angeles Dodger baseball coach. And he said that there are 3 types of leaders. There's people who make things happen. There's leaders who watch things happen. And there's leaders who don't know what happened. And I want to compliment each and every one of you for seizing the opportunity to participate in the 4-H program that you're in today, because I think it provides an excellent training ground for you to be a future leader and to be an individual who makes things happen. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name's Matt Cope. I currently serve as the Chief Deputy here at the Harlan County Sheriff's Office. Just start off to tell a little bit about the Sheriff's Office. We have 22 employees. That includes their civilian clerks and then everybody else that serves in the various roles throughout the office here. We have people that work as patrol deputies. There's supervisors for the patrol deputies and the courthouse security people, detectives and drug detectives, along with bailiffs for the court and school resource officers that work throughout the schools. To start off, just a little bit about the sheriff. The sheriff in Kentucky is an elected position that serves a 4-year term, and the sheriff, all the deputies work under the sheriff during that 4-year term. The sheriff is considered to be the chief law enforcement officer of the county, has regular law enforcement responsibilities in the county. There are many types of law enforcement agencies throughout the country, in the federal system, the state system, the local system, or other special agencies like parks or school systems, or just a multitude of agencies out there. And unlike many of these law enforcement agencies, sheriffs have many other duties outside of law enforcement. Number one, sheriffs work closely with the courts. You have the bailiffs in the court and the security people downstairs. They're also responsible for serving all the criminal and civil and other processes that come through with lawsuits and custody issues and just all kinds of issues that have to be served, paperwork to people involved in court cases. Sheriff's Office is also responsible for prisoner transportation throughout the state and also throughout the country. If there's somebody in jail somewhere throughout the state that's picked up on a Harlan County warrant, we're responsible for going to pick them up and bring them back to Harlan County. Or if they're incarcerated somewhere and need to show up for a court appearance, we'll have to go pick those up. Also, if they're picked up on a Harlan County warrant out of state, that we have extradition entered in. If they get picked up in Florida or California or wherever, it's on us to get them back to Harlan County to face those charges. In addition to the law enforcement duties and the services to the courts, one of the primary duties of the sheriffs in Kentucky is the collection of property taxes. Here at the Sheriff's Office, there's approximately $13 million, give or take, that is collected every year in property taxes, and We collect those here in the office and are responsible for distributing those out to the various agencies that receive those property taxes throughout the county. There's also been several other functions along the years that have been assigned to sheriff's offices, like for instance the concealed carry weapons permits. You apply for those here at the office. If someone moving from out of state or has bought a vehicle out of state, they have to bring their vehicles here to get out of state vehicle inspections before the clerk's office will register those in the state of Kentucky. A few other responsibilities of the sheriff's office that you really don't think about, like court-ordered evictions. If somebody's trying to get somebody out of a rental property or something and they refuse to get out and the court orders them out, we're responsible for all those to actually force the people to leave the property. So mental health commitments, juvenile transports to and from the juvenile detention center in Breathitt County. Just a few of the many tasks that sheriffs and sheriff's deputies face throughout the state of Kentucky. They have to be, to work for the sheriff's office, you have to be very good at multitasking, because there's just a wide array of responsibilities that you may be involved in. You may start the day with something to do with service in the courts and do some civil process and evictions and arrest and work a rec, and you just never know what the day's going to entail. If you have any questions about anything with the sheriff's office or law enforcement in general, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be glad to talk to you and answer any questions you may have.
So you all do a lot of things, multitasking things. That's kind of what my job is too. We may be doing one thing one hour, and then the next hour we're doing something else. So
yeah, just never know. There's not 2 days alike.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting at times, I guess, and it's
Absolutely.
probably stressful at times too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will touch just a little bit on law enforcement, though. Of course, sheriffs in their law enforcement roles, like all law enforcement throughout the country, and our state training academy here that all sheriffs in Kentucky attend to, if anyone's interested in a law enforcement career, is in Richmond at the Department of Criminal Justice Training. There's 4 academies in Kentucky, that the state police, Louisville, and Lexington. So if anybody has any interest in law enforcement, has any questions, feel free to reach out to us or research those about any of those training opportunities out there.
Now, this official in this office is elected for 4 years.
4-year terms, yes.
There were 4 years then.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the primary and general election.
Primary and general, it is a partisan race.
Okay, is there anything else, Matt, that you can think of?
I can't think of anything right now.
We sure thank you very much, and I know these students will be interested in finding out some of the things that the sheriff's office do.
Hey,
Thank you very
Thank you much.